Well, hello, and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Hi. Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Happy post-Super Bowl Tuesday.
I don't think you're allowed to say those two words. It has to be referred to as the big game.
No, only if you're advertising for it.
Oh, okay. And it's past.
Yeah.
So,
it is past.
I think we're okay.
It doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. The big game happened.
It didn't matter when it happened either, but
the bad guys won.
I mean, did they?
According to a lot of people, my favorite trending topic was rigged. It was,
as most sporting events are, right?
Well, no, specifically this one. You know, it was rigged because, Taylor Swift's boy toy was on the other team, so he had to win. Like, it was scripted. My favorite part of it was it was scripted. So
scripted.
The Super Bowl was
okay.
It was scripted. Yeah, they were meant to go into overtime to kind of give the opposing side hope, but really, it was scripted, and therefore, they were meant to. San Francisco was meant to lose, while Kansas City was meant to win, because of Taylor Swift. Because then she gains power. Right? She levels up. Yeah. She gains power and influence. So
isn't that what Ice Spice was doing with her upside down cross and devil horns? Trying to summon some sort of demon from the hell mouth of Summerdale or Smallville or wherever Buffy took place. I can't remember.
I know Ice Spice is a thing, but I don't know what she's done or
she twerks.
Anything. Oh, good for her.
I don't know what else she does, but I know she twerks.
There's a rapper that this one Twitter handle, I forget what they endorse music, but there's one where she raps and then at the end she farts towards the audience. That's the point. Was I wish I could remember what her name was. I don't care enough to remember what her name was, but yeah. Hi, Ginger.
That's hilarious.
So I thought that was funny.
That is pretty funny.
She turns and farts at her audience. But anyway. So now that everyone's expecting Travis Kelce to propose to Miss Swift.
Well, maybe all you people out there in fucking Hollywood land are waiting for it, but not
the
so
Swifties
much.
were 100% waiting for it. Swifties were like, make this happen because we love how cute you guys are. I'm like,
he just wore the engagement ring as a cock ring the whole game, and
he did.
And just pull it out, just reach into his jock and pull it out. Be like, here, put this on your finger.
I mean, what are you gonna do? So, so now, all we're waiting for is Taylor Swift's presidential endorsement, and the conspiracy is complete.
Well, did you watch? It sounds like you watched some of it anyway, because you're pretty up on.
I didn't watch any of it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch any of it. It was all Twitter.
Well, nope, not wrong button. Oh, so that would ruin the Joker for later. So did you see the her boyfriend, whatever her boyfriend's name is, yelled at Wilford Brimley?
I saw the memes. And I'm like,
up on
there's a lot of memes.
You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it because we don't have the technology. But up on screen,
I see it on the screen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you'd be able to see that or not.
I have the Twitch up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So why is he screaming at Wilford Brimley?
I don't know, because he has diabetes.
Stop eating sugar.
Not enough sugar. You have diabetes.
Exercise more.
Either that or he's like, go on.
Was it Monday morning, yesterday morning, I was like, I want to make a meme, and I failed to make the meme, but I wrote the words. I just didn't put them on the picture because I'm not smart enough to make a meme. But my meme to this, and it's a deep cut for Transformers, but Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue, Rumble is red. I got a lot of traction in a Transformers group.
Oh, good.
They thought it was funny. So, but yeah.
Where's your Quaker oatmeal?
Batteries not included.
Right. Yeah, people were upset. I guess people were upset that you're not supposed to yell at a coach like that as a player, that, you got to keep it cool. You don't like speak you don't attack the coach when you're like in the thick of it.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that. But here he was doing it. So.
Well, I mean, if you see the little clip, he scared the shit out of Wilford Brimley.
Well, yeah. I mean, that guy's huge. I mean, Wilford Brimley, he's a big guy.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley's already a big guy, but then you get this bearded monster guy that showed up just like the dude from The Hangover.
Zach Galifianakis.
Mm-hmm. With the satchel and the tight T-shirt. That's how he showed up to the Super Bowl. It's like one of the press conferences, or when he got off the plane or something, or I don't know. I saw a picture.
I don't know.
Generic. But yeah, the NFL it had its finale of its season this past weekend.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. I actually watched.
Yay,
Woo! I actually watched the game. Well, the majority of it, some of it.
Wait, through Nickelodeon? Did you watch it through Nickelodeon?
Sore subject. So I got.
Oh wow!
I'll get to it. Okay. I got invited to go watch the Super Bowls at the girlfriend's mom's house. So I said, sure. I work, till 4:30 or something, but I'll rush right over. And it was cool. Got to hang out. Got to meet the dogs I've heard so much about. Not really a dog guy, as we've discussed, but sometimes dogs are so ugly they're cute.
Sure, yeah.
She got a pug.
Yeah.
Those are some ugly ass dogs, but this, it's cute. And a German Shepherd, which, definitely not small, but cute in their own way. And it was kind of cool to visit with the mom, get to, know a little bit about her, a little more about her, instead of being at a restaurant and screaming over Casa Bonita stuff. So that was cool.
Of course, yeah.
Nice. We did the Wilford Brimley joke. Okay, yeah, so then the halftime happens.
You look, you have stuff ready.
Well,
like, have material. Okay.
I just want to make sure I hit it. So they do the halftime, and
Sure.
I got Usher confused with Cisco. So I was like, is he going to do the thong song at the fucking... That's not appropriate for the Super Bowl. And both the mom and my girlfriend looked at me like, no, you out-of-touch jerk, the other guy. I'm like, oh, yeah, that Usher. Sorry. It was kind of fun to see Luda. Only just, because I saw him one time in real life and called him by his real name. That's the only reason why it was kind of cool to see. I was like, oh, look, it's Chris.
Luda.
But then they at the beginning of the third quarter, which it actually, by the way, football is way too long, especially the Super Bowl. Commonly, I notice even amongst my friends when they watch football, they don't really pay attention to the third quarter because it's too long at this point, and then they pay attention towards the end of the game. This is exactly what happened at the Super Bowl. We watched the halftime thing, and then I don't know what happened until about the last 5-10 minutes of the game, and then I guess it did overtime, and it did that thing. But when it started the third quarter, they showed at the stadium there's a big Nickelodeon like booth, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Why? But that's cool. I mean, we're in Vegas, but that's not LA where this gets produced. And I was trying to find the correlation, trying to find the tie, the correlation, something. Couldn't think of anything. And then they showed.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what the connection is. Yeah.
Well, I didn't at the time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then they showed a real quick clip of animated SpongeBob and Patrick. And I was like, oh, and I was like, hey, do you guys remember when Disney did the Toy Story version of this earlier this season? And we talked about that.
Yes, yeah.
Now, had I known that SpongeBob and Patrick hosted the fucking Super Bowl on Nickelodeon, I would have rather have watched it on there, because I would have paid attention to the third quarter.
Yeah, so their connection is they're all Paramount, I guess, owned by Paramount. CBS, Paramount Plus, and Nickelodeon all did Super Bowl shows. I only know this because I watch Pluto TV, and they had a commercial for it every break. So like, watch the Super Bowl on these 3 channels. And one of the clips that I saw on Twitter was Dora the Explorer explaining holding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's cute. That's really funny.
Yeah, Dora apparently was like the rules expert. Yes. I was reading about this after the fact. They showed Squidward in line at the men's room getting all irritated that the line wasn't moving. Then they animated all of the celebrities that were there into like SpongeBob type of animated characters.
Okay, that's cool. Okay.
I would have much rather watched it on there. I think that would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And I think with the Disney Plus and now with the Nickelodeon jumping on the NFL thing to try and get younger fans, I think that's cool. But also at the same time, if it changes it up and makes it more interesting to watch, maybe I'll watch it too.
Yeah, I mean,
like if you get sacked and they AR slime you, that's right up my fucking childish alley.
Something like that. Again, they just had characters explaining things from what I've seen. Again, all on Twitter, but it was just like the characters explaining things, the voice actors being in the booth, in motion capture gear, which Twitter was like, oh, VTubers are vindicated because that's essentially what VTubers do.
I mean, it's basically what it was.
Yeah, which if anyone doesn't know what a VTuber is, it's people who use anime or cartoon characters to be their avatar when they do streaming like this. So instead of us, you would see like 2 anime characters talking and moving like we are. It's really impressive technology. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. But yeah,
I mean,
there you go.
They put Tom Kenny and the guy that plays Patrick.
Yeah, the you remember the show Coach with
with Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, he was the big guy. He was the big assistant coach.
Holy shit, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I just
Patrick.
Oh my god, I never knew that. Now
really
that I've like seen him, right? And you say that like, holy shit, yeah, that is him. But I posted on Twitter of them warming up, going through a little warm up thing, and I think it's impressive. And I don't know how long Tom and Coach's assistant would do voice sessions for. But they were all recorded, and I'm sure they could take breaks. This was live. To stay in character for how long's the goddamn Super Bowl? Like 6 or 7 hours or something like that? What?
Okay, so the voice of Patrick is Bill Fagerbach.
Okay, well, let's call him Coach's assistant. Or Patrick. I'm not going to remember that. What was his name? Roger Farfignugan? What?
Bill
Farfignugan.
G-E-R Fogger Bach, B-A-K-K-E.
Yeah, Farfignugan.
Farfignugan.
Yeah, it's impressive to me for them to stay in. It's more impressive, I think, for Tom Kenny to stay in that high register that long, opposed to Patrick staying in that lower register and just being dumb.
They could be like South Park, where they modulate the voice. Because
there is some, but
because I say the original guys can't do the voices, the high pitched kids' voices anymore, so they just have it modulating while they're talking.
I mean, if you listen to recent South Parks, all the voices have changed drastically. They actually kind of, I think, made them a little bit older sounding on purpose.
Even though they're still 10, though, aren't they? Aren't they still 10?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
All right.
I mean, Maggie's still a baby. It's been 35 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was a different experience from watching the Super Bowl in past years. It was fun to an extent. Definitely still not my sport. That's for damn sure. But like I said, fun to watch with new people. Don't really have a closing to this.
All right.
Don't yell at Wilford Brimley.
Don't yell at Wilford Brimley. We got to see the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. We got to.
I saw it the next day. I didn't.
I saw it after the Super Bowl was done. I didn't get to see it while it was playing, but yeah, I saw it.
I didn't.
Once it was on Twitter.
I think that's where I may have saw it or looked it up. But that was fun. That was cool. I can't wait for that to come out. I mean, we've all known that Wolverine was going to be in it since production was in pre-production. So
well, he said it. Yeah, he announced it with Ryan Reynolds. So
that's true.
We knew he was going to be there. Yeah.
But even the teases before it, I mean, it just made sense that eventually that he'd get him in there.
Sure.
So that was fun. That was a fun trailer. There's a whole bunch of breakdowns and people trying to figure things out in a trailer. Is Brad Pitt going to be in the movie?
Right. Yeah. Because a bunch of other people are there.
Because Shadow Star is there, and the Domino or what? No, not Domino. What's her name?
No, Domino wasn't in there, and neither was
Vanessa.
Oh, your favorite, Negasonic Teenage Warhead was there.
Most interesting girl in the world.
Actress. Yeah.
The most talkative.
Hey, now that she's back she's in another movie. You can interview her again.
Yeah, maybe she have more to say than it was fun.
Well, she's 5 years older now, 6 years older now. She's got to say something. She's got to have something to say now.
Maybe all the drinks that she was getting underage would loosened her up or something.
Just hanging out with folk,
having
a good time.
She was.
Yeah.
Not with me. Wasn't having a good time with me apparently, but it was fun.
Broader.
No, don't think she'd take too kindly to that. She might. Well, never mind.
Say something.
That's totally what I was thinking when I looked down and burnt through all my questions I had on my little piece of paper that I was trying to shield, not let anybody see. And I went, oh, please talk about something. I have one question left. And look at the timer I have going. We're 10 minutes in. This isn't good. These questions were supposed to last 20 minutes.
Was it an hour? Was your panel
It was an hour. It was an hour. And we burnt through my warm-up questions in less than 10 minutes. With her one-word answers. It was rough. I wish I could have. You know what? Someone else could do this. Where's that John?
I would have done it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what I was doing that time, but I would have done it. Totally would have done it. That would have been fun.
You know what's not a lot of fun, Francis?
What's not a lot of fun?
Losing your cool in public spaces.
Losing the. losing the Pop-Tarts guy. But go on. Okay, losing your cool.
Losing your cool, especially in public places. The people out there may not know, but you already know this. I kind of champion myself on being a kind of cool and mostly calm guy.
Right.
But there was a situation that happened at my workplace recently, without getting into specifics. But I screamed at my fucking boss. And I'm still employed. Which is the more amazing part of it, because to me, in my head, all it did was validate everything I said.
Maybe he's used to it.
Or that's that too, maybe. So really I bring it up because despite all my frustrations that, came out, and my blowing up and yelling, approaching yelling, it was definitely raised voice and frustration.
Raised voice.
Despite all of that,
Yes.
I'm disappointed in myself that I couldn't keep it under control and just be like, explain the process. But there's details I'm totally glossing over purposely, kayfabe reasons. But when you end up with glass in your shoe, it's time to stop being cool, I guess. It's okay to stop being cool and, let that frustration out, I think, at that point.
Well, if you have enough negative things happen all at once, I mean, I think you're allowed to, and I think it's becoming, I hate to say this, I feel like it's becoming more common because you kind of see it online all the time, people who kind of like lose their cool over everything. So, as a person who doesn't normally lose their cool, I'm certain it's kind of becoming normalized to just be like, I'm going to yell at the McDonald's drive-thru guy because they didn't have, mustard, or I'm going to yell at the UPS guy because my package had a dent in it, even though everything else was fine. Like,
Right.
Like we are so comfortable yelling at everyone nowadays, or getting really upset with people nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think,
But I'm not. I'm not comfortable with it. But when I hit, that point, like I said, I'm glossing over and kayfabing a lot of detail on purpose.
Right.
But we're all human. We all have breaking points, and I definitely hit one. And after the fact, I felt bad, not because. Not for what I said, but how I did it, I guess. Right. Because, yes, I may, in my head, feel like I was spitting facts. Mm-hmm. If I'd done it in a more adult and calm way, it would have come across better, possibly. Then the other half of that is, when you have all that mustard and fire behind the things you say, sometimes the point gets across better.
True. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fine line, I guess. But I bring all this up to just say, like, I was disappointed that I lost my shit in a public place. Like, disappointed in myself. Not for the frustrations that I was feeling. I'm not going to invalidate my feelings, but I'm upset that I just lost it in a public place, whereas that's not my style.
No. But again, I mean, what are you going to do when you are pushed to a limit and then, I mean, that energy has to go somewhere, right? Like, that energy has to go out somewhere. And that energy went out to the person who, was in front, well, not in front of you, but was like the person you needed at that time.
Right. Well, and we'll peel it back a little bit.
You don't have to peel.
No,
leave the onion. Okay.
There's so you were saying there's a lot of frustrations. The frustrations being that I lost my job a couple months ago. We talked about this on here. You know,
We did, yes.
we picked up a new job, but all that money slowly dwindling away. You know, there was no income. So I have that pressure, you know, looming over me the whole time. That money that I have is, you know, it's slowly going away. And then it's a time-sensitive position. And I didn't really get any, like, you know, we'll ease you in. It was just like, all right, here, sign all the papers to work here. Cool. Here's a full workload.
Posture right in the deep end.
Yeah. And which is fairly typical of all the jobs that I've had in the past, but there was a lot more order in past jobs. Like, yes, there could be 50 people here, but there's only one register. So you're going to have to wait. Doesn't matter. The position I'm in now, that's not really the case. And it's all a very time sensitive thing. So I, in my rant, I let my boss person know that I've been managing small teams my entire adult life. And the amount of work that you want done is impossible with the amount of people you have working day to day. Simple math. Now, that's speaking completely out of school, in the sense of where I'm currently employed. Completely out of school. But at the same time, when you don't retort and you don't say anything back to me, you kind of validate my statement.
Right. Yeah.
You and I were talking before. I do have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I don't know where it came from, but it's there. And I do tend, especially if I get comfortable in a place, I'll let them know, you know, how things should be run, or if they're brand new and they try to, you know, change things up and they've never done this before. Like, hey, we've tried this before 2 years ago. It didn't work. You know, whatever the case. At the same time, I don't ask for help from anything or anybody in life. I just don't do it. There's reasons why I don't ask for help. There's a select few people in my life that I am comfortable asking help from.
Yeah.
Help from.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very small circle. It's not even really a circle. It's more like a triangle. Not even that. I don't even know what shape it is.
Like a straight line.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So I've never asked for help my entire life, because when I have asked for help in my life, I get made fun of, teased, and most recently, at this workplace I'm currently working at, got laughed at while asking for help.
Right.
And it's amazing. We've discussed on here, and we discussed before we hit record, I really don't like the word triggered. I think it's overused. But when I asked my boss person, or told my boss person and asked, I said, I'm overwhelmed and I need help. My response in that, you know, reverse roles is, holy shit, let me help you, or let me get you some help immediately. And what can I do to help, to ease some of this? What can we do?
Right.
My first reaction to my employee asking me for help and feeling overwhelmed, two key words to somebody's mental overall status, is not to laugh at them. Which, again, this is why I don't ask for help, because that's the reaction that I get. 46-year-old dude, I am. Ask for help, get laughed at in the response, told I'm doing just fine and not to worry about it. Hate to say the word, but it hit the on switch. How about that? I flipped on the anger switch. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, he's, again, the guy probably had an idea of how, like, he didn't seem worried, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his perception of the situation was, why are you worried? You got this covered. I know you do. It's fine. Like, it was kind of positive, but done badly, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And he told me, I gotta protect K-Babe. He told me, like, I've seen your numbers. This is hard to talk about when you don't want to say what you do. I know. Like, you're doing fine. You're doing just fine.
Your productivity is fine.
My productivity is fine. I don't know what you're freaking out about. And then I show him an example of, like, hey, I'm doing this, but it needs to be done in about, 10 minutes. It's not going to get done in 10 minutes.
The demand has outreached the supply.
Yeah, and I
outnumbered the supply.
It's the number that's here is impossible with the time I have remaining with one person that just started doing this and doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. So
that's a pretty bold thing to just admit, as opposed to just like fake it till you make it. You're like, no, I don't know what I'm doing.
Look, we've been faking it for fucking 13 years doing this, right? And we've gotten pretty far. We've asked questions along the way. We've learned a lot of things. We've flirted our way into things, all kinds of stuff. But, like, I purposely went and asked for help. I don't know. 2 hours later,
nothing wrong with that.
When I'm way behind now on my duties, I have glass in my shoe from an incident. I find the same person and screaming, and not really screaming. I was raised voice at him and he kept asking me questions about things. And I was like, I have glass in my shoe. I don't care what you're asking me right now. And if you had gotten me the help 2 hours ago when I asked for it, I wouldn't have glass in my shoe right now.
I mean, that's
So it kind of goes back to the work thing, but like the point I bring up is like it's amazing that things that 6-year-old Francis or 6-year-old Josh dealt with, still somehow at 40-something years old can still drive a dagger into your fucking heart. It's more interesting, more than the situation. Fuck the situation. It's more interesting to me that something from 1 billion years ago still fucking cuts deep.
Of course. Yeah, that happens. That's definitely a thing. Everyone experiences it to some degree.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Again, everyone has a limit. Everyone has a breaking point, and you're allowed to break if you hit that point, right? Because that's the point of it. So, it's like, I get it. You feel like you can control that part, but if enough bad things happen in a single thing, no one's expecting you to be a saint. No one's expecting you to just kind of like swallow the pill, this gigantic pill we're trying to force down your throat. Just swallow it. No, you can fight back. You can be angry. You can be upset. You're loud.
Mm-hmm. And in the back of my head, I think the reason why I didn't, internally keep telling myself to shut the fuck up is because, like, man, this is a part-time gig and you're getting paid diddly squat. So who cares if they fire you right now is kind of in the back of my head as I was like, because part of my brain was like, turn the hate switch off, turn the faucet off. Because now, after you said the work frustration, now you're getting all the shit from December when you got fired. Now a lot of that frustration is just coming out as well. Turn the faucet off. And the other half is like, fuck that, it's open. Keep going. What did I miss? You'll have to Ginger asked, what did she miss? You missed 35 minutes of stuff, so that sucks. You have to watch it on the replay, which you can do. It's on YouTube. Look at that. Oh, God. You do the mid-show plug of your own shit, and that like viewer retainership or something like that. What's that?
Yeah. It's you have to put your plugs in. You gotta put the plugs.
So yeah, I lost my shit. That sucks. But you know what? Protect kayfabe. I saw my boss person when on my day off. I happened to see him, and he noticed me wearing some very geek type T-shirt. Had a Muppet T-shirt on, and he noticed that I also have my water bottle has a Cobra Decepticon logo. So he inquired. He goes, "Hey, I see all this, kind of geek stuff you got going on there. How much of a geek are you?" And I took the question as a very judgmental type of thing. Like, are you threatening me of my geekdom? Like, so I went right for it. There's no, like questioning my geekdom. And I just went right. I just might as well go right for the, you're not going to be able to.
Jugular.
Yeah. Go right for the jugular. I'm a convention moderator. Moderated at Fan Expo and other places. And he's just like, oh, okay. Then showed me his geek collection. He's a Lego guy and a Marvel guy.
Oh.
So, despite me raising my voice to this person in a fairly aggressive manner, because I had glass in my shoe,
right.
He's like, let me show you my toy room. Let me show you all the things I have. What do you collect? My kids call me the collector. Just like the Marvel. And I'm like, wow, okay, all right, well, we still got to talk about you laughing at me, and when I ask you, for help. But, you're kind of cool in the sense of you took it. And like I said, you didn't retort, so you just validated my fucking statements. Chip.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What I should do, Francis, is learn my fucking lesson from all these places and just shut the fuck up and earn my money and go to work and come home and vent to you before we hit record. Because. Yeah.
I'm actually very surprised that you even brought it up here. I mean, get on you to vent to the world.
I think it's good therapy to get it out.
Not wrong.
And also, that after the big game, that it wasn't even that. It was the following morning of there being glass in my shoe. It was kind of a few hours after I explained my expertise in managing small teams. Sometime after that, where I was just like, you know what? We're behind. And it doesn't matter what we do, we're going to be behind. So I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do my job, do the best of my ability, but I am not crashing into things that contain glass and have glass in my shoe, or I'm not.
That's a good move. Good move not to injure yourself with sharp objects.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to walk really fast and not, step on the glass that's inside your shoe. It's a lot of fun.
I can't imagine it's easy.
And at the same time, that was not a fun experience. Not a fun experience. And I mean, the whole thing really was to get to being laughed at when I asked for help. So. That's why I don't ask for help.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson yet again, Francis, to not ask anybody for anything. Because when you do, people laugh at you. In your face. I get it. People laugh about me behind closed doors all the fucking time. I get that. I'm okay with that. But don't do it in front of my fucking face when I ask you for help.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That would be like,
that
would be if you and I were fucking roommates and this kidney situation that you're having comes up, we're roommates and I'm a perfect match. And I'm just like, nah, but I like having both kidneys. You know, it's like, but I'm asking you for help. Yeah, but then I can't have any alcohol. You know, I don't know. It's not really the same thing.
Right?
It's not really the same thing. I'm trying to fucking.
I mean, you know, hey, get your analogies in there. It's all good.
I'm trying. It's not working. I didn't think about it hard enough. But yeah, I will continue to not ask for help because and yeah. I'll help anybody that asks me for help. But fuck, sure. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. I'll just suffer. Because, you know what? Suffering's a lot easier than being laughed at.
So that's a general consensus. Somebody on, once again, I'll mention Twitter, which is, I guess I'm just on it that much. But someone had tweeted, why don't men just, like, share what's going on with them or share their feelings, whatever? And people are like, yeah, because it'll be used against us. Because it'll be like, why would we ever share anything with anyone? Because it's used as a weapon, or it's going to be like, right? Like, it doesn't matter anyway, or whatever. Like, there's all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it all boils down to that, yeah, for the vast majority of people, will, you know, they'll not vast majority, but you're not going to be treated well, right? Like we have, us dudes have enough experience to be like, okay, we're not going to be treated well in these scenarios, so we better just kind of stick it out on our own and do things on our own, because it's not like, you know, we could ask for help, but what's the point, right? And I think that's a universal thing. I think guys are just like, we're fine on our own. Thank you, but no thank you.
Is it a generational or is it a dude thing? Period.
I
don't know.
For the most part, it's not generational because it is something that has been asked forever, right? People didn't care pre the 80s or whatever, right? Because guys then were expected to be kind of brooding and kind of stoic and like, oh, I can take care of anything on my own. Like, this is, you know, that's why there's that stereotype of men will never ask for directions, right? Because they can handle it. They'll take care of it.
Well, that means that's asking for help.
Right. Exactly. Like, we'll figure it out.
I think that, that's the root of it, right? It's not asking for help.
Yeah. But that's been like a stereotype forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it continues to this day. So it's really just kind of like a guy thing. It's just that now more and more women and more people are noticing, like, oh, guys are pretty much just kind of doing their own thing. That's weird. That's okay. I guess so. But it's true. Like, guys just refuse to get, you know, any help because, yeah, it's used as a weapon. It's used as a cudgel against you. So,
like, you know, getting therapy, that kind of help, that's one thing, right? But even depending on the person, they might fucking clown on you for that too, which you know, shouldn't fucking worry about. You should go get your therapy if you need some therapy.
Yeah, but I mean, guys, you know, there's a reason why guys don't do therapy either. Like, guys don't, a lot of guys don't do therapy, except for Tony Soprano. He'll do therapy. But
well,
you know.
Well, yeah, but he was doing therapy. It was a whole different. It meant something different.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, like, yeah, people, yeah, I don't know. It'll be the question of the ages, and if it'll ever get fixed, who knows? Probably never. I don't think we'll ever get out of that idea where figure it out on my own. I mean, I do it at work all the time. You know, and the kind of work I do, I just kind of figure it out on my own. Like,
and I think that's kind of what's expected of me in this position. Is just figure it out. and I've figured it out in my brain. Well, except for one thing, it's kind of it's not out of my control because it's a state thing, but it's out of my control in the sense of I don't know how to control it within the confines of my job. Aside from just being like, it's time for lunch. I'm going to lunch. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And I thought about it over the course of the couple days of being angry and whatnot, and really think what was it that made me so mad? Was it being overwhelmed? Was it the too much work? Yes, but I can handle that. We've run video game stores and dispensaries by yourself for an entire shift, 12, 13 hours. You've done this before. But where I'm at is a little different. It's all very time sensitive. And yeah, it's just, it I don't know. It was overwhelming. And it was being laughed at. That was the dagger. And that was what I focused on for like 2 days.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens in the future, but there's some serious doubts going through my brain this past weekend of like, you know what? We can just stop doing this, and it'd be a clean exit.
No, he did not quit.
No, I didn't quit because I have too much of a work ethic. I like money.
It's good, yeah.
And the funny thing is people, customers and employees that haven't met me yet, I keep running into people that go, "Excuse me, are you a manager?" And I take a step back and I go, "What is it about this that makes you think I'm a manager?"
You don't wear a uniform, right? You still don't wear a uniform.
No, I'm plain clothes. But I wear like a polo type of shirt. So at least I kind of fit in with the rest of the people that work there, because they haven't given me, any kind of, uniform or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, I just wear the polo shirt and, jeans. People walk up and, "Excuse me, are you a manager?" Like, nah. What is it about this? But at the same time, right in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, recognize, motherfucker. And, who knows? But maybe I will be one.
At some point.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because, protecting kayfabe, I like the people I work with. The job itself, fucking pretty easy. But it's overwhelming in the sense of I am not as fast as the other people that are in my department. And you can't give me a full workload a week into my position on top of not giving me breaks and then expect me to keep up. Because regardless, you do anything for 6 hours straight, you're going to start slowing down because you had no time to recharge at all. No time to breathe, no time to use the restroom. So it all piled up and it blew up. And luckily the guy, not even luckily, that's what I'm saying. I'm still employed and not got fired on the spot because I was fucking speaking the truth. And because the dude just stood there and took everything I said and didn't retort to anything, like I said, validates every statement I said. Because if you're not going to argue with me, that means I'm speaking the truth then. Or you're just that much more of a reserved person and you just took it. And which probably made me more angry that he didn't retort, but whatever.
I mean, you know the guy better than we do.
Say what?
You know the guy better than we do.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I don't know anybody at this workplace. Really?
You know them tangentially, you know.
Like, I've gone into like employee-only sections of this building. And people are like, wait a second. I'm like, I work here. See, I've got the little device. Shows you I work here. Like, oh, okay, he works here.
Oh, we were unaware.
Yeah,
you worked here.
Didn't even know you work here. We see you here all the time, though. Let me look at my little thing. There's that. A lot of that all has to do with my frustration over the last 2 weeks. This is stupid. I got a tax return. Yay me. Haven't had one in 2 years, so I was excited to see that. I'm not going to boast too much because not everybody in this room got a tax return.
Sure. I mean, it's fine. People, as a matter of fact, most people, I think, in the U.S., are very unhappy with the taxes right now and probably owed more than anything else.
That's the worst. Have you ever had to owe?
Plenty of times, yeah.
Plenty of times? That's not right.
Oh, yeah.
I owed once because I fucked up and didn't change my W-2.
Oh, yeah. I've owed quite a few times, yeah.
That's the worst.
I mean, not by, not by a terrible amount, but enough to where it made me sad,
$600 I owed one time.
Yeah.
I had to sell stock.
Very, very few times where I got anything back. So, yay, tax time. Woohoo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you
go.
It only took me like 10 minutes because I have one share of stock that I think made $16 over the course of the year. I didn't even report that because why?
Yeah, even the money I made from my books, even the money I made from my books barely made a dent in my tax return. I'm like, oh, I made like $20 over the last year on my books and royalties. I'm like, no, they don't care. You have $20? We're not gonna tax you for $20.
Right.
Like you didn't make money.
Yeah, I didn't make enough on my, sticking man feet into the, different inanimate objects on the Only Feet, web page. So, didn't have to worry about that.
So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it's just nice to get it done. Nice to see that some money's coming back to me. It is the parting gift, I guess, from the former employer. Like, we screwed you for the last 2 years, but, fuck you, get out of our building, but we're going to let you have a tax return this year. I know it has nothing to do with my employer, but whatever.
And there you go.
Yeah. That's kind of everything that I wrote down. Oh, we've all been saying Temu wrong. Did you notice that? No, you didn't watch. Did you watch Super Bowl?
I didn't see any of the Temu commercials.
Apparently it's Temu.
Oh, Temu.
Yeah. We've all been saying
well,
it
now
wrong.
that Wish is not a thing anymore, Temu is going to be the new Wish.
So Wish? Did Wish shut down?
No, Wish exists, but I think it was sold.
Okay.
Apparently, somebody on Reddit mentioned that it was worth at one point $14 billion, and then it sold for like less than $200 million. So they lost all their valuation.
I mean,
everyone makes it. It's a joke, Wish is considered a joke.
I mean,
it's
that
punchline.
I went to that website once to look around and see what there was, and you can just tell that it was incredibly cheap knockoff stuff. I was like, nah.
Apparently, Temu is better.
It'll always be Temu. Fucking Temu.
Yeah.
It'll always be. I mean, I think if you put your credit card information in there, you might as well just fucking, give your credit card information out to the world, because that's what you just did. You should definitely get one of those dummy cards, those cards that you could just like only put the purchasing amount onto. That's what I would do if I was going to purchase from Temu, Wish, the other ones that have popped up recently that are just like those.
Yeah, my credit card company does that. The app lets you pick a fake make a fake account number, so you can like buy online without giving away your real account number. So that's nice. Yeah.
That is. It's very nice. I like that. The government has killed off all deductions. Now you get a tax credit unless you have a catastrophic illness or can't deduct any med bills that you had during the year. Well, that's good, I guess, or not. I don't know.
You get some money back because of, I guess, you get tax credit, I guess, because
okay, it's not good apparently. I don't know. I usually when I go through there, it asks if I like registered my car.
They cared about whether or not I had medical insurance.
It didn't ask me about medical insurance. It stopped asking me that, I think, 21.
It asked me if I had it all year. Oh, California did. California's like, no. Do you have medical insurance all year? I'm like, yes, I did. I'm cool.
It asked me in the past if I had registered a car and how much it costs to register the car, because that's a deduction apparently, which I don't understand. But it didn't ask this year. But it's like, here, have some money back, which I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it every year, but right now I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, standard deduction is fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's really everything for this week. Really, I'm a little ranty.
I mean, it was mostly about I think you spent about a good 45 minutes on.
Yeah, well, this is also kind of the therapy session, Francis. Things happen during the week, and we come here and we talk about them. And even though we talked for an hour and a half before, and you got to hear everything twice, basically.
It's all good.
It was a little more animated for the show, and you're frozen. So that's, at least you're frozen on a good face anyway. While he's frozen, and who knows what's going. Are you back? Or yes or no? I see you moving.
What's funny is that.
Okay. Nope, you're gone. So, I hate the internet sometimes.
It must be on my end because you don't freeze on the stream.
Okay, well that's good at least. Well, let's get out of here before things get worse. How about that? So you're not saying anything, so who knows if you can even hear me. I will keep talking until you come back, I guess. And are you there? You're moving again on my screen. No, you're frozen. No, you're moving.
That's good.
Okay, you're good. Francis, it's that time of the show. Tell us where people can find you and stalk you and all that sort of stuff.
You better do it for me because I'm just going to freeze.
Okay, well, find Francis at AKA the other guy on all his social medias because he knows what synergy is and I don't. You can find him also on the show that's live on Wednesdays called Super Geeked Up. I was buying time. I forgot what the show was called. It's a live improv show, kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, but very geek themed, very, very audience driven. It's a lot of fun. I like to go on that show when I can and throw it off the rails, kind of like this show. You can find all the things POI. Not at one place, unfortunately, but you can email us at poipodcast@gmail.com. You can call, text, voicemail, call into the show, 314-764-7631. Spells out POI Pod 1. Kind of synergetic. The Twitter, the YouTube, and all that is all POI Podcast. Or it's the POI Podcast. See, there's no synergy. I forgot what our name was most of the time when I made these things, or the wasn't, available one thing, but I wanted it to be another thing. I don't know. I'm buying time now. You can find me at 303_ninja on the Instagram or Twitters. Yes, Twitter's 303ninja on the Instagram. You can find us here every week, most every week. Sometimes we take days off because I get no sleep, which leads to frustration, which leads to me yelling at my boss. Anyway, Francis is just going to sit there and not respond to anything I'm saying, so I'm just going to leave. We'll be back here next Tuesday. Bye. See ya, bye.